Welcome back to my channel. Rain poured over the small town of Ashford as Daniel Carter tightened the last bolt on an old pickup truck inside his modest garage. The faded sign above the building read, Carter Auto Repair. It wasn't fancy, but for 15 years it had been the only thing keeping food on the table for Daniel and his 11-year-old daughter, Lily. Done. Daniel smiled as the old truck roared to life. The grateful customer shook his hand. I don't know how you do it, Daniel. Every other shop wanted to replace the whole engine. Daniel simply smiled. Sometimes people replace things because they don't understand them. Before he could finish speaking, 3 black luxury SUVs stopped outside. Men in expensive suits stepped out. Leading them was Victoria Kane, CEO of Titan Recovery Corporation. She walked inside without even looking around. So this is the famous Carter garage. Daniel wiped the grease from his hands. Can I help you? Victoria handed him a thick envelope. I'm afraid your lease is over. Daniel frowned. There must be a mistake. There isn't. She smiled coldly. The property now belongs to Titan Development. Daniel's heart sank. My daughter and I live off this garage. Not anymore. Within hours, workers began removing his tools while bulldozers surrounded the property. Neighbors watched helplessly. Lily hugged her father. What do we do now? Daniel forced a smile. We keep moving. Because that's what your mother taught us. The next morning, Titan Corporation organized a massive public demonstration just outside town. Their newest project was a $2 million armored rescue truck, designed for military and disaster response. Television crews arrived. Investors filled the grandstands. Victoria proudly addressed the audience. This machine represents the future. It can survive floods, fires, explosions, and anything nature throws at it. Everyone applauded. Then she pressed the ignition button. Nothing happened. She tried again. Silence. Engineers rushed forward. They connected laptops. Ran diagnostics. Changed batteries. Reset software. Still nothing. 30 minutes passed. The cameras kept rolling. Investors began whispering. Victoria's confidence disappeared. One engineer quietly admitted. We don't know what's wrong.
Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Enjoy the video.
Another mechanic spent nearly an hour inspecting every electrical system. Nothing. Finally, one investor looked across the road. There. Standing beside a small trailer loaded with the last remaining tools from his closed garage, was Daniel Carter. The investor asked. Who's that? Someone replied. Just the mechanic whose garage they repossessed yesterday. The investor walked over. Sir. Would you mind taking a look? Victoria immediately interrupted. Absolutely not. We don't need him. Another failed attempt to start the truck echoed through the parking lot. Nothing. One of the largest investors folded his arms. Either he tries. Or my company pulls out. The crowd fell silent. Victoria reluctantly nodded. Daniel slowly walked toward the enormous armored truck. Television cameras followed every step. He didn't touch a laptop. He didn't ask for engineering reports. Instead, he quietly listened. He asked for the key. Turned it halfway. Closed his eyes. Then smiled. The engine isn't the problem. Everyone looked confused. He opened a small access panel beneath the driver's seat. Reached inside. Pulled out a damaged relay connector that had vibrated loose during transportation. Daniel cleaned the contacts. Locked the connector firmly into place. Closed the panel. Then handed the key back. Try now. The chief engineer laughed. Impossible. Victoria rolled her eyes. But she turned the key anyway. The massive diesel engine exploded to life with a thunderous roar. The crowd gasped. Smoke cleared. The armored truck rolled forward perfectly. Silence. Then, thunderous applause erupted across the demonstration grounds. The investors couldn't believe it. One elderly engineer stared at Daniel. "How did you know?" Daniel smiled. "My father taught me something. Engines always tell you what's wrong. If you stop trying to outsmart them and simply listen." One investor approached Daniel. "How long have you been repairing vehicles?" "Since I was 12. Another asked. "How many certifications do you have?" Daniel laughed. "None. I just never stopped learning." Victoria stood speechless. Yesterday, she had taken everything from him. Today, he had saved the biggest demonstration in her company's history. The lead investor walked toward Victoria. "I have one condition before investing another $50 million. Victoria nodded nervously. "What is it?" He pointed directly at Daniel. "Buy his garage back. And make him chief mechanical director." The audience applauded. Victoria lowered her head. For the first time in years, she had no clever response. The following week, Titan Corporation returned the garage to Daniel. Completely renovated. New lifts. Modern equipment. Fresh paint. Even the old Carter Auto Repair sign had been carefully restored and rehung above the entrance. Victoria personally handed Daniel the keys. "I'm sorry. I judged your building. I never looked at the man inside it." Daniel accepted the keys. "We all make mistakes. The important part is fixing them. Just like an engine." Months later, Carter Auto Repair became the engineering headquarters for Titan's entire heavy vehicle division. Daniel hired young mechanics from struggling families. He trained them for free. The little garage that had once been considered worthless became one of the country's most respected innovation centers. One afternoon Lily looked around the busy workshop. "Dad, remember when we lost everything?" Daniel smiled as mechanics laughed and worked around him. "We didn't lose everything. We still had our knowledge. And nobody can repossess that." The camera slowly pulled back as the once-forgotten garage buzzed with life, proving that true value isn't found in buildings or expensive machines, but in the people who know how to bring them back to life. Like and subscribe.